Hello, friends. Welcome back to Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308. And I'm here with the ASOC Prod, Cat, and Darth Dragonis, the Brockerator, the...
That one was a stretch.
Yeah, it was. Okay. The Brockless bolt thrower, the Brockless Roman bolt thrower. The Windlass was a small oh gosh, what are they called? The bow and arrow siege
Archer?
engines. No. The siege engines that are...
Ballista?
Yes.
Yeah, ballista.
Ballista. A windlass is a small Roman ballista. So, there we go. The Brock...
You gotta love those nicknames you have to explain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm running out of them.
Well, I told you to stop using 2 a day.
Yeah, but like, my tolerance has gone up and I need 2 a day.
Well, I can't do anything about that. You're gonna have to crash for a couple of days.
Okay. Let me start today with our ad read. Today's pre-rolls are brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, 105 West Main Street, Suite 200, above the bricks between 10,000 villages and Hamiltons, where the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. It is a great place to go with buds to get some great bud. But today is also being brought to you by Firehouse Organics. A craft cannabis farm. And you can get their products at the Canna Market pop-up on Fridays at The Hidden Leaf in downtown Charlottesville. Today, I'm doing a me roll, and I will be reviewing their watermelon popsicle bud.
Mm-hmm.
I will also be trying and reviewing their Monopoly Melts edibles. 40 milligrams of THC per edible, so I went ahead and got myself 2 packages. Because, these... They wanted me to mention specifically that these are all natural, vegan, and super chill AF. Okay. No, but these are all natural. They're vegan. They're one of the generally cleanest gummies out there, just because they're made with completely organic products. They're 100% all natural, 100% plant-based. I was hoping to see gluten-free on here somewhere, but I don't. But I have a feeling that they're relatively gluten-free. They are I think they're a collaboration between the Cold Room Farm and Power Plant or The Grow.
Mm.
And I got lychee and peach mango flavor. And I will be reviewing those right now, and then we will try the watermelon popsicle me roll, and then we will get into talking about today's topics. Oh, these aren't just gummies. These are like squeezy packs.
Like, like fruit gushers, or the weird gum with the gel in the center.
I think so. I think that weird gum with the gel in the center is called Gushers.
No. It's an actual. Yeah, no. It's a little square gum.
Uh-huh. It's called
Comes
Gushers.
Maybe.
That's tasty. Oh, that is very tasty. It's like slightly meltier fruit roll-up. Yeah. It's like if you left a fruit roll-up out in the heat for a little while.
Okay.
I can taste the cannabis extract in it. Just a little bit I can taste it. Not enough to make it an unpleasant experience, especially with these peach mango ones. We'll see about the lychee. I think, what I really like about these is that they are vegan and that there is a vegan option out there. Even though I'm not vegan, I think, it's really important that we have options for everyone. For vegans, for vegetarians, for people who can't have gluten.
Well, that, and we've got kids at school with various allergies. So we had one that wasn't vegan, but they were allergic to eggs.
Oh, yeah, see there. Allergic to eggs. Of course, I should hope that your kids at your school aren't eating these. Because...
Yes.
Yeah, no one under 21 is... Right. Also, this brings up that,
This isn't Florida, nor is this California for last Halloween.
Right. Also, though, don't try this at home. I'm a professional, 40 years experience. So, try if at home, just try one of these or a part of one of these. Don't go plowing through a whole bag and then smoking a couple of joints.
Yeah. When you're eating it, the rule of wrist is to take your time because you can always eat more later.
Right.
But this is how people become violently high.
Or tragically high.
because they don't realize that it takes time to kick in. They're waiting for it to react like they just smoked a bowl. So they eat another one, and then that
Right.
one doesn't kick in. So they eat another one,
Right.
and by the time the first one starts kicking in, they're on their fifth one.
Right. And then they've just got one heck of a ride ahead of them. So,
Basically, yeah.
yeah. So, you beginners at home, don't do this. This is not a challenge. This is not a thing now. This is just a Saturday morning for Trevor.
There. I found the gum I was looking for.
It's not Gushers?
Nope. Gushers is the fruit thing. Fresh enough.
Huh. Oh, yeah, okay. I remember that one.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I put a picture of it in the voice chat for you.
Let's take a look at that. See. Mm-hmm. But that was mint.
Exactly. It was gum. It was chewing gum. It just had a minty center.
It was mint gum with a minty center.
Yep.
There was also some other version that had Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, A&W Root Beer, and Cherry 7-Up.
Mm-hmm. The soda flavored ones.
I vaguely remember the Dr. Pepper ones. Dr. Pepper root beer. I wouldn't mind that.
I mean, isn't Dr. Pepper just root beer, only more volatile?
No, it's not. It's
Well, Dr. Pepper went to school.
right. I mean, got their whole doctorate and everything.
Yes, fair point.
But also, somewhere in there, Dr. Pepper picked up caffeine and prune juice. Next time you drink a Dr. Pepper, tell me you don't taste prune juice in there.
I taste a lot of things in there.
Well, yeah, there are a lot of things in there. But somehow it ends up tasting a lot like prune juice. Which, speaking of DS9, would make Worf very happy.
Mm.
Prune juice is a warrior's drink.
That's only because Worf was never introduced to coffee made with coconut oil.
Prune juice, a drink you have when you really have to get shitty.
Like I said, only because Worf was never introduced to coffee made with coconut oil.
I don't know. I bet you he was. Because remember, they had that Roctachino, right?
I mean, true.
And you have to imagine that Klingons probably needed as much extra fiber in their diet as they could get.
Fair. Very fair.
So they were probably using some analog of prune juice some analog of coconut milk to put in their Roctachinos.
Okay.
For the refresher trips to the refresher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, that's the wrong universe. Refreshers are Star Wars.
That's a fair slip for today.
Do they even drink coffee in Star Trek?
Yes.
I know
If
they have
it's
tea.
got Earl Grey tea, they've got coffee.
Well, yeah.
Also, remember that
I'm trying to think of a time when they've ever had coffee.
Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
There's coffee in that nebula.
Yes.
They occasionally had coffee on Voyager
I just don't remember it.
early on.
Okay, okay. That's not making it any easier for me to remember.
Right.
No.
But also, Rocticino was the coffee analog in the, I think, later seasons of TNG and DS9.
Mm.
Fair enough.
Because I found it curious that Klingons would have a cappuccino drink.
Mm.
That they wouldn't drink black coffee. You know?
No, I don't know, because I can't remember it from the show.
Right? It made sense to me that Jadzia Dax, that the Daxes would like coffee drinks. They seemed bohemian enough, I guess. Pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
To like that, but they didn't. But it really surprises me that the Klingons in general. I mean, I could see them having espresso drinks, but something about having specifically a cappuccino analog. Now, part of that, I think, was Cappuccino got a rebranding. Cappuccino got a rebranding right around that time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just saw the texts from the Peanut Gallery.
I didn't do it.
No, you didn't.
Just making sure we're clear.
Cappuccino got a rebranding right around that time because of Hudson Hawk. Hudson Hawk?
What?
Yeah, it was Hudson Hawk. I feel like I will almost say underappreciated movie. Certainly wasn't the box office smash that they were hoping for.
No. But it's fun. It is so fun.
It was. That's when I saw Cappuccino make its return and go from being what was considered sort of an effeminate coffee frothy drink to being well, noir, hard boiled and noir.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in ad break.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are we thinking about the same Hudson Hawk? I might be getting the name wrong or something.
The one with what's his name?
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, and Danny Aiello.
How is any of that hard boiled?
He was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a noir comedy.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be this sort of hard. Hudson Hawk was supposed to be this hard-boiled, tough-nosed kind of guy, which is part of why they got Bruce Willis to play him.
Bruce Willis wrote.
He wrote it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Which explains some of the entertaining bits of that.
Yeah, it really does. I did not realize he was such a great writer. I mean, it is a great movie. I I thought so. Just because the MTVIA. I mean, come on. I speak to dolphins.
Or the semi-spies being named after candy bars.
That's the MTVIA. That's what he calls them. How do you like my MTVIA?
Yes.
And I loved
I don't know the
Butterfinger.
Yes.
I loved Butterfinger. Oh my god, he was hilarious. But yeah, it was supposed to be. I mean, it was a parody on noir film, which is part of why they took, something like Cappuccino that didn't have a very hard image before that. Those are good. It helps that I like lychee flavored stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they took this concept and did a parody. And part of that was taking this drink that was fluffy, frothy, light, and making it what this hard-nosed main character liked.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if they'd have given him a cocktail, it would have been something very fruity
Mm-hmm.
with umbrellas.
Didn't they do something like that in the whole 9 yards?
I feel like they did. My goodness, those things are delicious, man. Wow.
See, Hudson Hawk never struck me as, well, it may have been a parody of Hard Boiled, but it wasn't anything more than a parody, so I never considered Hard Boiled for it. It was more playing off of his moonlighting career, whereas Whole 9 Yards is more of a play off of Die Hard career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. But I do feel like it precipitated this rebranding of Cappuccino to make it a bit harder of a drink, thusly leading to it becoming a Klingon drink.
Mm.
And
It could be.
And to give it a harder edge for a Klingon, they gave it Rock Tachito. I mean, that's what it feels like anyway. I have nothing to back up my my theory here. So, now we're going to try some of this watermelon popsicle. And what made me decide to do this, oh, that smell, is when I was there yesterday getting the gummies, Dave, one of the owners of Firehouse, I think he's an owner.
Mm.
I don't think it's a very big operation, but definitely one of the people involved.
Mm.
He told me to stick my nose in this jar of watermelon popsicle to get a whiff of it, and I did, and it smells like grapefruit and musk. It smells more like grapefruit than musk. It has a very sharp but pleasant smell
Mm.
with an undertone of skunk, which in weed terms is a good thing. I know for all you non-smokers out there, that's not that doesn't sound great, but with this sort of stuff, it is.
As long as it means I do not have to go dig out the special shampoo and wash the dog I'm pet sitting again for the 5th time this weekend, we're good.
Yeah, no. Wait, are you pet sitting in Skylar?
No, but
Oh, then
that was my
that's
summer.
your problem. That's your problem. It's not the Skylar
And
skunk.
disclosure.
No, Skylar.
Skylar skunk won the Cannabis Cup, I think, in 90. I don't remember. Like a year or two after or before Ithaca won for its TCGBs. Tompkins County Greenbud.
Thinking on that, there's a local company trying to bring that varietal back. And they've got a pop-up market that they're working on doing down near you.
Yeah, I'll check it out. We'll see.
Oh, you're about one of the only people I know that would actually know if they've succeeded or not.
Yeah, but Trevor's too nice to people.
Yeah.
He may be too nice to them, but he'll actually tell me the truth later, so.
No, because they'll still put a really nice coating on it. Unfortunately, Trevor is not the best judge because he's too nice and he wants everybody to win. So, yeah,
Yeah.
he'll give it a 9 if it should be a 4. So,
Right. I'm really. That being said, though, I mean, this is really good.
see?
So
No.
what you're saying is if I want a less sweetly flavored opinion, I should set both of you up.
Also,
Yes, and then just listen to me.
yeah.
Okay,
I mean, on some level, yes. Because I'm not. I will probably be like, it's good for what it is.
Uh-huh.
If it's not Skylar, if it's not True Skunk.
Yeah.
And honestly, if it's true Skylar skunk, if it's true skunk, you shouldn't need anybody to be like, oh yeah, that's true skunk. You should go, who let the skunks out?
I mean, for someone that actually knows what they're doing, yes. For someone like me who just kind of wanders by and goes, this all smells kind of skunky.
Yeah, see, no, you should know, you should be able to tell the difference. You who doesn't know should be able to smell.
And then there's going to be one that smells exactly like a skunk. And that's how you'll know. It won't just be like the stinky, ooh, this is gross. It'll be like, oh, that's actually a dead skunk in this bag.
Yeah.
That's how you'll know.
That smells.
Makes me think of the '90s song "Who Let the Dogs Out."
That's what what I was going for. Yes.
Yes, and then instead of the barking, you have coughing.
Yeah. Who let
It
the
is
skunk
really
out?
terrible that I can picture that. Telling you.
Who let the skunks out? Like that?
I didn't think that song could have been any worse.
Don't be sorry.
Yes, be vengeful.
Right? Okay, so there's another undertone here in this that I'm getting that I really like. And it's an undertone of sage.
Yeah.
That's different.
Just that every now and again I get a slight whiff of sage, a slight taste of sage. It's in there with the musk. It's, it's sort of a sagey musk smell taste.
So the sage was lightly brushed in.
It was aged in a barrel of sage. That's hard to say.
Aged in a barrel of sage.
See?
Yep. There's a little bit of skunky quality to this. Just a little bit. So it does have a little bit of a skunk to it, but true Skylar skunk was so skunky that...
How skunky was it?
It was so skunky that when you'd bring it home, your parents would automatically go buy more tomato juice.
The joke is there, but I think the delivery needed a little bit of help.
I think the delivery was there. I think the joke needed a little bit of help.
Is it because they're drunks and they want more Bloody Marys?
No, it's because when you get spread...
No, I get it.
Oh, God.
That's why we need to go get more celery as well. If they're just getting the tomato juice, it's something else. Celery, then it's the Bloody Marys.
It was so skunky, it almost made that joke sound good.
Ha!
Oh.
So now, if we were all high on the Skylar skunk, it would have been fun.
Right. This whole thing would have been hilarious, and it actually kind of is. So yes, this is some very good weed from Firehouse Organics. It is their watermelon popsicle. Well worth it. Well worth it. I also got some of their Super Boof. Had a bowl of that before we got started. Tasty. I paid a little bit of attention to the pricing yesterday, because usually I don't pay attention to the pricing. Probably not good. And I realized that their prices are actually, they're not low, but they're relatively reasonable for something this good. Back in the day, this would have been probably at least twice what it went for at the Canna Market. So there is that. Now, this also brings up something I wanted to talk about the Hidden Leaf real quick. I always say, and they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personal research, which might be highly biased. And I've been saying this, I've been dropping this a little bit this week, but I wanted to say, I found out how much they're bringing the blacktop pre-rolls to market for. And their markup on that isn't very much. They're really, the blacktop pre-rolls are really priced to be affordable to everybody. They're really, they're priced to be to help build a community for the smokers in this town, in this area, you know.
Right.
They're priced
Do we
so
really
that
need help though?
yeah. Yeah, so many disparate communities of smokers that don't necessarily have third spaces that are safe to go and don't necessarily have access to products that are affordable. And that's what the Hidden Leaf is really trying to do, is make a third space that is a safe space for people to go and accessible to everyone, and make their products affordable to everyone.
Okay.
And
But
that's
we should say that it does cost money to get into the safe space.
it
Mm.
does. It does. Part of that is, I think it's for legal reasons. Because I think you have to have some sort of membership fee sort of thing to provide a space and non-THCA products for sale.
Do you mean to tell me this whole time I could have been charging people $5 to come into my apartment?
Yeah.
All right, Trevor, you owe me like a whole lot of money.
A, it doesn't work retroactively. B,
Says who?
me. B,
Well, I'm gonna need to see a manager.
I am the manager.
I'm gonna need to see another manager.
I need a managerial manager. I need an adultier manager.
I wish to point out that in this scenario, the person charging the admission fee is the manager.
Sort of.
Speaking of which, where's my cut? If I'm the manager, where's my cut?
You get 25% of zero.
Well, yeah, I need to get paid before I can give you your cut.
I'm with him on this one.
Well, as the manager, I get the employee discount. I get use of the facilities.
All right, but I still get like cleaning fees and transportation fees, supply fees, fees for all these fees that I have to add.
Air
Okay,
filter
see,
fees.
I've done those. I have paid those fees.
Because you brought cookies and salami one time.
Hey, more than once. Because you
Well,
thought it was a
some.
good idea after the first time.
Oh.
So I think the last thing we have to say during this ad read is that while we here at Nikwork Entertainment endorse Firehouse Organics and Hidden Leaf, they are businesses. They do not necessarily endorse us. We have strong opinions, and they do not necessarily agree with all of our opinions. Yes, I believe that note of I think that's the note of disclosure.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. Have I missed anything on the ad read, guys?
Yeah, check the website.
Yeah, check the Hidden Leaf website for special events, hours of operation, and that sort of thing.
Oh, and it is located on the 3rd floor. There are steps.
Yes, they are working on getting some sort of accessibility stairway. When Brock and I were there, a couple of the employees were talking, and one of them said, "Yeah, we're gonna get an accessibility stairway." Or did she say handicap accessible stairway?
I don't remember at this point.
But it was like, kind of an oxymoron there. And she's like, no, we're gonna get a lift on the outside, put on the outside of the building, an elevator. It's like, oh, okay.
Well, because even if they turn those steps into a ramp, there's no way you're getting a wheelchair up there. But
Right?
there's no way you're getting the wheelchair down safely. So
I'll take the challenge.
All right. So see, thinking about that, and all of a sudden I am picturing the outside of this elevator being decorated to look like a giant green pipe.
Smoke. It makes the bottom is decorated like a pipe.
Wrong
and then,
kind of pipe. Think Mario.
Yeah, but that has absolutely nothing to do with marijuana.
yeah, the Hidden Leaf has nothing to do with Naruto. So I mean, this is the world we're living in now.
Right? Oh.
I think you can have a Mario pipe on the outside. I'm okay with this. It just has to make the noise.
Yes, you need the warp sound.
Yes. Otherwise, what's
You push the up button and you get that warp sound, and then you get up there and you're like, ah. It's just like going to one of those alternate levels in Mario 3. Look, there's leaves everywhere. And then you
Okay.
jump back in the pipe and you're back on the cityscape again with all the mushrooms that are trying to murder you.
murder mushroom?
Mycelial
idea.
murder machines.
The MMM. Okay, I can work with that. There's a story there.
The
That would also be a
Mushroom
good band
Mafia.
name.
What?
Yes.
Mushroom Mafia, the mycelial murder machines.
That one hurt my head.
They play really, really good music because they're just a bunch of fun guys.
And each one of them is named Gus because each one of them is a fungus.
Yes, yes.
Dad already did that joke, man.
Yeah.
Fun guts, fun guy. It works both ways. And then you get to have the weird biology people that come in and throw fits because they're not one thing and they're not the other. They're not plants, they're not animals, they're their own special category of things, and you get the right biologist person and they just lose it because they can't explain it and they don't like your explanation either.
I like watching biologists' heads explode when they deal with mushrooms.
Yes.
You know, at least my coughing always has an interesting sound to it.
Mm.
As long as it doesn't end with a thud, I think we're okay.
No, you guys just don't hear the thud that it ends with. I keep that sound pretty well hidden.
Oh.
The sound of chunks of long hitting floor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was just thinking Trevor's head hitting the floor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
That's what I'm not looking for.
Yeah, no. Oh, God. Recently, the one where I fell out, I stood up too quick while still holding the hit. So this was just a dumb idea to begin with. Had the hit in my lungs, stood up too fast, exhaled. I don't even remember exhaling, honestly. I remember standing up and having a thought of, oh, this was a bad, and then coming to. And I had done a face plant into my shelves.
Ew.
Caught my nose with the bridge of my glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow, something had stabbed me in the neck.
Huh.
That might have been Gandalf checking to see if you were still alive.
Right? Can I eat him yet? No, he's still alive. Damn it.
I mean, it's also
Pretty much.
entirely possible that what happened is I had my hand like this as I stood up. And when the contractions took hold and everything, and I scratched myself really hard. It's possible, but it really looked like a stab wound when I looked at it in the mirror.
At least you were by yourself.
Right? So if I'd stabbed myself in the jugular, I could have bled out alone and not woken up.
No, Gandalf would have been there waiting for you to die.
Right?
And Big Ten Dog.
True.
I mean, Dee Dee would care, so that's the thing. Gandalf
Right.
is just like, and then pretty soon my inheritance hit, and then I got the fuck out of this.
I'm sorry, I'm now picturing Gandalf with a blonde wig.
Just somewhere in Seattle.
No, Portland.
Oh, Jesus. That's both hilarious and kind of scary. I don't see him anywhere.
That's okay. He sees you.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what I'm scared of. No, Gandalf actually really loves me. It's really nice. In the mornings, after biting my feet and shredding my ankles while under the covers, he comes and sits on my chest and nuzzles my face and purrs at me. And then climbs right up my head to get in the window behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Just
For Siler, that was my 2-hour warning. I had 2 hours until it was time to feed him. He made sure that he was going to keep within swiping distance of me for those 2 hours.
I have to go back and recount again because I lost my place.
Oh, are you crocheting?
Yes, I'm doing something foolish. I'm trying to turn hexagons into squares.
Huh.
Yeah. I'll throw a picture up in chat in a moment. Hang on.
Well,
While we get started on the rest of what we're actually supposed to be doing.
yeah,
Versus, bats in blonde wigs.
it's
Well, I thought we were still doing the ad.
yeah, no, we actually just wrapped that up.
Okay. And you said it was between 10,000 Hamiltons and
And Village.
all that stuff. In Village, yeah.
Yes, I did. Between 10,000 Villages and Hamilton's on the downtown mall above the bricks, 105 West Main Street, Suite 200, third floor, lot of stairs.
And we should probably point out that nobody is paying you to say this, right?
No, they are not paying me to say this, although they have... Firehouse has given me gifts, and so has Hidden Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they've started giving me gifts because they appreciate what I'm doing. They are not paying me to advertise for them. I don't... because I so full-chestedly endorse their products, I don't really want to take endorsement money from them because I don't want my audience to think that... I want the endorsement to have the full impact because I really, really endorse these guys. Both of these companies, full chest and everything.
Fair enough.
But they have started giving me gifts. I don't know if it's because I'm advertising for them or just because they like me. I'm willing to go with either and both.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, full disclosure there. Although, Hidden Leaf gives a lot of gifts to everybody. I mean, they're very... Because they've done such a good job of making it getting so much bulk going, they have the ability to, with the black top and the green top pre-rolls, they have the ability to sell them at very low overhead or very low profit. Very low profit. But it also, it gives them the room to give away a free pre-roll to everybody their first time in the lounge. To give away a free Hushy pre-roll to every time a customer comes in for the first time at all. They have a lot of room to be generous because they've built that generosity into their system. Again, in order to help build the community. And it's... As a business model, I think... As an outsider... because I don't know what they're really thinking, but as an outsider, and from what they've told me, the business model very much seems to be take care of the customer and the customer takes care of you. The business model very much seems to be build a community. Not profit-driven, but community-driven business model. Which is, in my mind, a more sustainable business model, both economically and socially. You tend to burn out your customers and eat through your product if your business model, especially in terms of weed, or something consumable like weed, if you go for a business model that is profit driven over customer and community driven.
Mm.
Anyway, that's my experience with it. That's what I think they're trying to do. So, that is the ad read.
For real this time?
For real this time. We are going to start this week with a discussion and some remembrances of a very influential actor and personality that the world lost this week.
Mm.
You know, this actor had the acting range to play everything from the voice of the scariest man in a galaxy far, far away to playing the scariest man in a time long forgotten, when a hero went by one name.
Yes.
Brock suggested that we share remembrances of James Earl Jones and stories of how he may have influenced our lives in some way. One of his roles that touched us, and maybe a story about the first time we saw or heard him in a role.
Fair enough.
I have, of course, I have several James Earl Jones stories. But let's start by, I've picked up this habit from one of my DMs, one of my dungeon masters, of saying, and I just noticed it like about 3 or 4 knows ago. I say let's start with what the audience probably very well knows as his most famous role.
Mm.
The one that has had the widest reach. And that would be the voice of Darth Vader. For me, that's actually pretty special.
Mm.
Darth Vader is obviously very influential in my life. What with my Darth Vader corner there and all of my Star Wars Legos and Darth Vader doll and Darth Vader head, there are many things about Darth Vader. There are many things about him that I like. But of course, my first memory of Vader is not his voice, although it was pretty close on the heels there.
Mm.
The first memory of Vader was that fateful moment on the Yavin 4 where the door blew open. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. And there's the drum roll, the door falls. And you see, and he's just, he's, you can barely make out details. It's so black. And it's not even matte or shiny black in most places. It's just black. This darkness, that was unlike anything else I had experienced in a movie before then. This being said, this was not the first time I experienced Star Wars. I must have been, I think I was a year or two old at this point, and I think we were rewatching it on the farm. Now, maybe not. Maybe it was still in the theaters by the time I was 2 years old. I really, but I also could have just been like barely one and a half, and it could have still been in the theaters.
So A New Hope was 77.
Right.
That would make...
Which I did see in the theaters.
Yeah, you were just in the womb. But Empire Strikes Back came out in 1980. So you could have been two and change at that point, no problem.
Right, but was New Hope still in theaters in 82?
It would have been out on VHS pretty easily. And no, it was not still in the theaters.
Okay, so, then we must have watched it on the farm.
Yeah. Now, 83 is Jedi.
What I'm thinking is we watched it on the farm, getting ready for...
Seeing it in the theater?
Could be.
Seeing the next one in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because... And at one or two, experiencing it at the farm was not unlike experiencing it at a theater. It's also possible it was in a second-run theater at the time.
Yeah.
And there were several in Charlottesville at the time. Now, this is the first role I remember him in. And this is the first, and his voice was booming, and it stuck in my head, and it was very... when I saw a picture of him, it was very different from what I expected. His face seemed to me to be very kind, gentle. He seemed like the kind of person who... There were things about him that reminded me of the better caretakers, child care givers at Twin Oaks. We're in ad break, so they didn't hear it. Also, he said the year. So. But you know what? People have to watch this and remember stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Lockpick is here. We're not trying to hide anything.
Right? Also, I think we're getting Jerry on next week. And the likelihood of her slipping up and saying it is is
More
pretty
so?
high. Yeah.
All right, well,
So I'm
don't
still
let lockpick come in. Just block him for like 8 days. If you want me to, I'll do it.
no,
That
no,
way
no,
you
no,
can be like,
no.
oh, I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened. No, I think we're just gonna go on with it as if nothing happened and everything is normal, and we'll see if people pick up on stuff.
That sounds fair.
You know. So the other child caregivers on the farm, there was something about James Earl Jones that reminded me of the more gentle adults. Yeah. So, he was the voice of terror for me, though. I remember as a child, I was utterly terrified of Darth Vader.
Really?
Yeah. But then
I
again,
was secretly wishing he was my father.
well, you have to remember that in Star Wars, in A New Hope, we knew very little about him other than that he was a great evil presence.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know he had an agenda. We didn't know he had ties. We didn't know anything about him. He was just the bad guy.
I'm going to do everything I can not to turn this into a Star Wars episode. So,
I understand that. Um,
can you imagine what it was like on set with these
oh,
actors? And the guy in the costume shows up as Vader, and it's like, "Hi, have you seen my daughter?" And yeah, so
and then
nobody
nobody,
understood that it was going to be James Earl Jones until it was already in the theater.
right? And then nobody knew that he was what that fateful line was going to be.
You mean the one that everybody gets wrong? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
See, you sound more like the Emperor.
Yeah, I do. It's. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
Good, Cheddar, good.
Loosen my tie.
No, that didn't help.
This is CNN. How is that?
Like a 4.
Mm.
That would be like a Trevor 9.
Ow, my pride. Thank goodness I don't have any. I would say my ego is bruised, but it's hard to bruise something that is already made of stone. Cold and hard. No matter what I was about to say, it ain't gonna be right, so I ain't gonna say it.
Uh-huh. You want me to go next and give you a chance to recover?
Are we back from ad yet?
Yeah, the ad read ended a little while ago. We're talking about James Earl Jones now.
Okay. Well, because it sounded like we were talking about Star Wars. So.
I'm trying to keep it centered on James Earl Jones.
Right.
In Star Wars. We're currently doing the Star Wars part of the James Earl Jones part of the discussion.
Okay.
Sure, Kat. Why don't you go ahead and go next? Give us some James Earl Jones, some Star Wars James Earl Jones.
As far as I can remember, that's the first place I remember hearing his voice. But because we didn't do a whole lot of movie theater things, we did at-home movies, we did, the weird special TV movies that ran at odd times. I honestly remember seeing him first in the Jesus of Nazareth movie and going, "Isn't that the scary man?" And
I wasn't allowed to watch the Jesus of Nazareth movie.
You weren't allowed to. We were highly encouraged to. Mostly because Mom was hoping it was going to be like her favorite musical, and it wasn't, but she was still okay with it.
My dad once caught me watching the 700 Club, near and about threw a fit. Goes, which ended with, "Why the blankety blank blank are you watching this blank?" And I said, "To get to know our enemies, Dad."
Yep.
Jesus of Nazareth
stopped him short. Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah,
yes,
he played Balthazar.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
now we just love to hear him say his name.
Yeah,
Balthazar.
Yeah.
Balthazar.
So it's like there were other movies and places, but that's like one of the first times that I actually got to see his face. It's like,
Okay.
this face does not go with the voice that I remember hearing and being like, "I don't like you. I still don't like you, but I like you less, or I like you more than I like the other one."
All right, Brock.
Okay.
Our Brockopedia of movie fact knowledge. Was he in The Color Purple?
I don't remember. I know he was in Meteor Man.
Well, I have to watch The Color Purple real quick. So.
Oh.
I mean, just give me a couple of minutes. I can close my eyes and do this, but.
Okay.
Right.
Talk amongst yourselves while I'm watching this.
Meteor Man was that.
That was the weird made-for-TV movie where the little unassuming school teacher type person ends up with a fancy rock and he gets all strong and powerful.
Yeah, the Meteor Man. Damn it! I stopped watching The Color Purple. Sorry.
I was asking if it was anything like Brother from Another Planet.
No.
No,
this is more like.
No, I didn't see Meteor Man. I don't believe.
No.
Although let's see. The reason I asked if he's in The Color Purple, Cat. He's not. Oh.
He's not. I should have just skipped to the credits, but he's not.
Okay. That apparently was one of the first movies that I remembered as a child, but don't remember remembering.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason they know I remembered that movie as a child is because after they showed it on the farm, they had the watch party for it on the farm. We went to Jamestown. A farm trip to Jamestown, and we were on the boat.
Oh.
And baby 1308 says the line from the movie about someone being overboard.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody at the park got silent I mean, everybody, the entire town of Jamestown went silent and turned to look at this group of hippies and this, I mean, maybe two,
Hippie
maybe,
baby.
yeah, who's just happily going on about his life. And they're like, no, 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 no. We watched Roots. We're on your side. We showed the child Roots. Please, please, we're not bad people. We're not like that.
Right.
At
So
which point, nobody thought to question them for showing a baby, a child that has just enough cognition to remember a show like Roots. Like,
all right, so you've got two different movies here.
Yeah, you got Roots of the Color Purple.
oh,
And he wasn't in either.
no, he
He was
wasn't.
in the second one though. He was in Roots 2.
Yeah,
He was in Roots
he was
2.
in Roots TNG.
Uh-huh.
TNG.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. The Next Generation.
Yes,
Oh my
it was.
goodness.
I promise you, man. Like,
Well,
It really
anyway,
is.
we'll get to other roles. I was still going with the first we saw him in.
Yes.
And I thought it might be possible that I saw him in either of those before I have any other memory. But I went for Color Purple. I meant to say Roots.
Yes.
Cheese and
That's fine.
crackers, Trevor. I think maybe that 400 milligrams that you just ate and that joint you just smoked and the one you're working on might be taking effect.
Perhaps. Just a little.
Nah.
no. No, Mr. Trevor, no here.
All right. So, back to James Earl Jones.
Mm.
I think the next role that I remember seeing him in was I can't remember the name, but the Emperor in Conan the Barbarian,
Yeah.
the snake guy.
Yeah.
Snake guy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
He-
right. There's
and
no
I-
way you could ever come up with his name.
yeah, no,
Like straight up. Like, you're gonna hear the last name and think, "Oh, why can't I remember that?" And then you're gonna hear the first name and be like, "That's why."
okay,
So the last name, of course, Doom. I feel like
Right.
that one is very easy to remember.
Thulsa.
There you go.
Just needed the hint. Thulsa Doom. It always connected with Tulsa, Oklahoma, to me. So it's like, I've never been, but apparently I think I have an aversion in the back of my head just because it sounds like Thulsa Doom.
Yeah. I can see that.
And I know why I couldn't remember it. It's because I haven't accessed that information in a long time. The pathway was a little overgrown.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't accessed that information in about 5 years. A little over.
Mm.
Since the captain was living here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because I've been accessing all this Star Trek information this whole time.
Yeah.
And he's the Star Trek and Conan expert. You're
Maybe the two things are compartmentalized enough to where it didn't necessarily lead you down the same path.
yeah, partially. Plus, I've been experiencing Star Trek media since then, but I haven't really done any Conan media since then. Not even anything like on the interwebs or on YouTube's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just kind of. Yeah, it just kind of got away from me. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to it. But I remember my father, when we were watching Conan the Barbarian, my father leaning in and going, "Man, that guy can really play a badass, can he?"
I mean, he could.
I'm like 4 to 6 years old,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just like, I'm processing this information like, yeah, but like, so you respect that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to understand at 4 to 6 years old, trying to understand what made my dad tick, and that was one of the things that he really seemed to like. And then there were his other roles.
Mm-hmm.
He had other roles.
He really did, and one of the most memorable for me, I think, was in Fences. I think his bit in Fences was so memorable that I didn't remember the rest of that movie. I just remembered him. Like, it wasn't until I saw the Denzel Washington, the newer one, and I was like, I've seen this before. Oh. That movie, that thing that I remember as the, you know, that wasn't it. That wasn't about him. That wasn't a James Earl Jones movie. He was just in that. I was like, wow. Wow, Trev. Can't trust your memory.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what movie was this called again?
Fences?
Fences. Okay. It doesn't ring a bell, so I'm just curious.
Yeah.
It's a movie about the black experience.
Okay. And there was a Denzel remake, you say?
Are you messing with me right now?
No, I'm seriously trying to search my memory banks for this.
Okay.
Was that so? It was just called Fences.
I am 99 to 100% sure, yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Make,
I believe you.
make
Just
me
because I can't remember it
get
doesn't mean it doesn't
my
happen.
magic rectangle out. Jeez. Yeah. Denzel Washington, Viola Davis.
Mm-hmm.
That's the remake.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to do that. And I think Stephen McKinney uh, played the part that James Earl Jones played in the first one.
Okay.
Uh, now,
Hmm.
1987 original Broadway cast: Troy Maxon, James Earl Jones.
Okay.
And I would have seen what I would have seen, and what I remember seeing
Uh,
is a video, not a video, but a broadcast of the performance on A&E.
That makes
something
sense.
like that. Yeah.
And what I remember, one of the things I remember was going from watching Conan the Barbarian in the afternoon to watching Fences on A&E in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And having that, yeah, like it was a weird, my experience, but then again, my experience of actors from a very young age, I very much understood the difference between the actor and the role.
Okay.
You know, I my first time on stage, I wasn't a scene role, but I played the mechanism of the arm in the Phantom Toll Booth. Somebody else played the toll booth. I played the arm because I was the only person small enough to fit in the rope barrel that was the toll booth with somebody else. And I could,
Don't you hate being typecast?
man, eh, at 4, I just appreciated being cast.
That's fair.
I, my next role was as the king in The Trial of Alice.
Uh-huh.
That's typecasting.
In the sixth grade production of The Pied Piper, I was supposed to be the kid left behind. That's definitely typecasting.
Oof.
At that point, it's like, okay, well, see, see, at what point is it representation, though?
Yeah, but how come I'm not getting the star role because I'm the best actor in the grade?
Right,
Yeah, I'm getting the kid that gets left behind because I'm on crutches. So
right.
yeah,
I I did not have a starring role, but that's because I was not very big, and the king was very small too. And B,
Uh-huh.
the people playing the queen
Mm-hmm.
were my older sisters. And
Uh,
they had no problem bossing me around.
yeah.
And I had a lot of practice being like, you heard what she said? Off with his head, or off with her head.
Yeah.
That was my line, was, you heard what she said? You heard the queen? You heard what she said? Off with her head, off with her head. But James Earl Jones experiencing that range of character acting was formative for me in that it gave me something that it was like, okay, I can do that. I can, I may not be as dynamic as him. I may never be as dynamic as him, but it shows that actors can have a wide range, and I can be a wide range of things.
Hmm.
Did he have an effect for either of you in that way? Was he formative?
So, not to turn this into a Star Wars episode, but it absolutely blew my mind at like 11 or 12 when I found out that James Earl Jones was not the actual actor inside the costume. I'm also trying to think of where he would have first shown up for me. Because at the time that I like really started to absorb movies and stuff, things like Field of Dreams
Hmm.
had already
Oh
come out.
yeah.
So I would have had a chance to see James Earl Jones as a good guy before like seeing him as a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right.
We yeah. Fair enough.
But so Sneakers was already out at the time.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
have
oh
been
yeah,
able
he
to
was in
watch.
Sneakers.
I would have been able to watch Conan on TBS, so he could have shown up there. Like, yeah, when I search back in my memory banks, I can't really remember a time where he wasn't just already there. So it's hard for me to pinpoint where I first saw him. But Vader definitely has had an influence. I don't know if you can tell from my screen name or not, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we are, as we have said, politically, we're Vadarian leftists.
That's a good one.
It's hard
That's
for
what
me
you're
to
gonna
say
call
with
that
this.
girl.
Oh no, because that's not what we are religiously. That's what we are politically. That's
Eh,
what I told.
potato,
That's what I
potato.
told that Wolfie boy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him when he was asking about my political views. I'm like, you got to remember, man. When Nader isn't far enough to the left for you, vote Vader.
Yeah, I bet you he loved that one.
He didn't catch it. Like he was really all on about himself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was right.
You know? So, yeah. One of the other points of contact with with him for me, one of the other things that really is in my memory, I remember when my mom was going to business school.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to do a presentation. She had to put together a presentation about Ted Turner and his business models.
Mm.
Okay, let me clarify a few points here, because I just heard what I said in my own head. Let's start with business school. Let's point out that this was not, a correspondence class or something like that. She was going to UVA's graduate school in business, Darden.
Yeah.
When she had to put together a presentation on Ted Turner's business models, we are not talking about the ones he borrowed from Hugh Hefner.
All right. Well, I've lost interest.
Actually, no. I do think there were some print media ideas that he may have borrowed from Hugh Hefner, but we are not talking about, we're talking about ideas about how business works,
Right.
not people who make business look good.
Okay. So this isn't how to get laid in business without really trying.
Right.
Okay.
This is not that.
Okay.
This was supposed to be, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, because I was pretty young at the time. I mean, I was like 13 or 14 at the time. Dealing with my own teen angst issues.
Okay.
So, anyway, but I do remember she went for a new type of presentation strategy, and included video in her presentation, which means she had to do it on VHS. She had to get the music on tape. This was pre-VC. This was pre-CD.
So, kids, what you don't realize is a CD is a compact disc where we used to be able to store up to 12 songs.
12 songs, 74 minutes of music.
Yeah.
In the later years when they tightened all the lasers.
Which was not the same as the giant laser discs that you put in the big thing to watch movies on, but you could watch a movie on that.
So there were laser discs, and you could even check them out. You could even view them at the UVA library. At the UVA video library.
Books.
Yeah.
Holy!
A book is something where you have pages that you turn.
Yes.
Oh. So, I think we may have had the 286 at this point. How do you explain an x86 computer?
So take your phone, make it 600 times bigger.
And slower. with
we put a
worse
man on the moon.
graphics. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was she was able to put graphics into a text document. We had moved up to that point. I was still using WordPerfect on the 8088 up in my room. With a green and black monitor. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I dreamt in green and black.
And then later on, they gave you the Matrix where everything was green and black.
That's part of why that movie spoke to me so much, was that was the green and black from my childhood. Well, from my childhood, because that was also the green and black on the 2 E's that were scattered around the farm. And the Commodore 64 actually had, like, I think 6 colors?
It did have colors.
6 or 8 colors?
Um,
It was 64-bit.
yeah, it was 64-bit. I want to say that it had 8 colors.
8 colors.
All I know is that when I first learned how to type on, when I first learned what a computer was effectively some sort of IBM clone that Mom had that had an orange and black screen.
Yeah, I'm sure it was an 8088, because I remember the 8088s coming in green and black or orange and black, and we went with green and black. Because I did not want the orange getting stuck in my brain. I think I got to make that call.
Mm.
Kind of makes sense why Nikwork Entertainment and Nestor Industries is now all green and black.
It does. It does.
But back to James Earl Jones. So when Jerry was putting together this presentation, and she'd put some graphics on the pages, and it looked pretty cool. But she was determined to get. I think she also had a whole bunch of video from his representing his various networks.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have editing software. Or not software, equipment. We didn't even have dual head VCR. Like, we had one. I think we had a dual head VCR, which is a read and write. You know, you could record back to the tape, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know you could do that. I think that's what dual head meant. But we only had the capability for one tape. We only had one VCR.
Mm-hmm.
And so to get this how she wanted it, it took several days. And she started it and ended it with the same thing. So she had to get that, and then get all the rest of it, and then get that again. And it was the James Earl Jones introducing CNN. It was this is CNN. That was that's how she started it and ended it. And I don't know if I have this story exactly correct, but I do remember it playing a large part when she retold the story. It was a harrowing experience of getting to that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has been just sort of in the back of my head playing on a loop ever since. There's always a little James Earl Jones in the back of my skull saying, "This is CNN." It's amazing the thoughts that get stuck in your head for what seem like no good reason.
Right.
Mm.
And that thought is one of the thoughts stuck in my head for what seems to be no good reason. But it's how I will always hear James Earl Jones's voice.
Mm.
And not as the first character I experienced him as. Or the first character where I saw his face. He'll always be the voice of CNN to me, not necessarily the voice of Darth Vader. I mean, he'll always be the voice of Darth Vader to me, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Mm.
this is going to sound terrible, but you never forget your first love.
Mm-hmm.
He has also given permission to Disney to use his voice.
So he will always
so.
be.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
But in any case, he is.
Is it fitting?
Huh?
That his last movie is it fitting that his last movie was his last acting was the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Mm.
And before that it was the second Coming to America movie.
Yeah.
This
God!
Kind of seems like a fitting way to.
He went out like he came in.
Pretty much, especially for people like us,
Yeah. They made a Coming to America too.
Yes, they did.
It's called Coming to America.
Ha 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 ha.
Yep.
Don't knock it until you've seen it.
It's not bad.
I ran into Rick Ocasek once. You did not run into no Rick Ocasek. Yes, I did. I came around the corner and there he was, and I walked right into Rick Ocasek. Knocked him down, looked down, said, "You're Rick Ocasek."
There you go.
Okay, so I know that that's not how it goes in the movie, but
You got the gist.
Knew a young woman. Also, it wasn't Rick Ocasek in the movie.
No.
I knew a young woman who ran into Rick Ocasek. And when she started, I don't remember how it started, but she said, "I ran into Rick Ocasek." And I said, "You did not run into Rick Ocasek." And she retold the story of running into Rick Ocasek. We did the bit. Just out of nowhere.
She was doing the bit?
No, she was on it. She was on it. She went from doing it in a normal voice to doing it in the Eddie Murphy white guy voice. White guy, black guy voice.
Okay.
It was, she got to, and after we were done, she told me that she had been trying to tell that story like that for years because she knew she knew it happened almost exactly like it happened in the movie. And she was like, "Oh, God." And I was the first person to buy into her setup.
Nice.
And we were pretty close friends for a while. I mean, this happened up in Ithaca. And I had a tendency of drifting out of town. So some of my close friends would sort of just wouldn't be there next time I popped up.
Oh.
And now I can't remember her name. Which kind of, that's a bummer. But she was there when I got the news about my Uncle Bob dying. Crazy the memories we hold on to, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
So, there's still roles of his that we haven't touched on. And Kathy, do you have any stories that we haven't let you tell yet?
Not really. I would say the biggest thing for me is he was one of the actors that helped make it clear that just because someone sounds big and scary and looks big and scary doesn't mean they are. But also conversely, just because they look like the nicest person ever doesn't mean they are either. It's like those were concepts that were kind of formed through other characters, other films, other media, especially books. But to go from hearing the big scary noise in Darth Vader to seeing the kind of sweet looking guy in Highway to Heaven, and then hearing his voice for Mufasa, and then back to him being the bad guy again elsewhere is like, he's really good, but he's also kind of really good proof that you need to take each person as they are and make your own judgment, and don't just go with, this is how they acted to someone else, so this is how they're always going to act, but also, this is how they're acting right now, pay attention to what's going on.
I believe his role in The Sandlot perfectly sums that up.
I never saw The Sandlot.
Well, buddy, I'm sorry. You've missed out on something that could have easily been repeated continuously. And I think I haven't seen it in I don't know, 7 or 8 years, but I'm pretty sure it held up then.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So there's a couple of questions that I have about Benny the Rocket, but they're mostly about his family and how he ended up with so much money he could just give a glove away. But that's a completely different episode.
Yeah.
But he is in fact in The Sandlot.
All right.
Trevor, if you know the premise of the movie.
Nope.
Okay, so a bunch of youths that like to play baseball.
A bunch of what?
It's a youths.
What the hell's a youth?
Youngins.
Buddy.
Bunch of youngins.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Somebody
Your
below
Honor.
the age of 13.
Youths.
But played by teenagers.
Right. So, yes, a bunch of youths.
Yeah, and in order to play baseball, they need a baseball to play with. So the main character goes home and grabs the baseball out of his stepfather's collection. Happens to be signed by Babe Ruth. And the first crack, kid hits it over the fence. And they got to go get it from this big hulking dog. And That's the Sandlot. But I don't want to give away the end or anything, just in case you do see it.
Wow. Wow. This sounds
Where we have a four
sounds like an
for
amazing vehicle for a good writer, a good director. You know, if a good team got their hands on this, it sounds like it could be an amazing vehicle for both
Well,
comedy and coming of age story and team building story and, you know, an ensemble. Just there's so many things you could do with this if your team is good. If you have a good, you know,
well, I don't know if I can sell this any harder to you, but Dennis Leary is the stepfather.
I no, is it good? Was it well
Yeah,
written, well directed? Was it
yeah.
touching,
I'm not trying to pull
poignant?
your leg. I'm
Huh?
telling you, you need to see it. I'm telling you, you need
Okay.
to
Yeah,
see it.
Okay.
I'm not like trying to mess with you or
Uh
anything. I'm not. You're not going to get to the end of the movie and be like, "Fuck him." No.
there's parts of that movie that have worked into just general pop
Yes.
culture phrase wise that
fair enough. No.
really,
That's fair enough. We will do a watch party stream
Okay.
either here or in Discord, depending on what we're allowed to do.
yeah.
Figure
No fooling.
associate producer's going to need to figure this one out. What we're allowed to do, what we're allowed to put on YouTube.
Oh.
YouTube is more iffy. So,
We'd
but
have
from
to
everything I've been
we'd
able to
have
tell,
to
Twitch.
huh?
So I've
Twitch.
been looking into it. YouTube is more iffy. They want proof of copyright purchase or whatever first. But
Oh.
Twitch is a little bit more looser, and Discord still more looser. So if you want to do if you're at all worried about anything, do it as like a Discord only thing.
And then we can have a movie discussion on Twitch that goes on YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. As long as we're not showing the video for YouTube, we can have the discussion and all
All
perfectly
right.
fine.
All right, Isak Prod. You're the
Um.
one with the most difficult schedule to take into account, I think.
Yeah.
So let's schedule this watch party and discussion
Mhm.
for some point soon,
Okay.
with a mind for content generation.
Sure.
We want we want we want you in on it, Brock, because this is your idea.
Yep.
This is your challenge, so you're in
No,
on watching.
stop trying to give me credit for this stuff, dude. I got nothing to do with this.
Under the suggestions tab, you are the first one to suggest television shows and/or slash movies. Therefore, you get all the credit.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't prove that.
I have written
Let's
proof you're the
aim to
first.
do. Let's aim to do the next popular media episode in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
Watch party and watch party before then, and we'll do the discussion in 2 weeks.
Okay. We can work that out.
If we're still
And
talking about executive producer stuff, I need an assistant. Nothing major. I'm sure we can get an intern, but
what you got, Kat? You got interns? Got some interns you can turn over to him?
He can borrow Nick's.
Huh?
He can borrow Nick's. Nick's is a good intern. He cuddles. He does all sorts of
Okay.
things. He's got bad habits too, though, so you just have to worry about that.
You had me at cuddles.
The rest I didn't hear. No, literally, my hearing aid went out.
Yes.
Okay.
Brock wakes up with the.
Your job is, Brock, your job on this is going to be less intensive.
Mm.
Your job is to, lead the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. About the Sandlot?
Yeah.
And can you give me an easier task?
No.
Press play and watch it with us.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can
no,
just
I've
close my
got to
eyes
do
and
the.
watch.
Actually, no, he can press play and watch it. I think you guys have the ability to share your screens to start a stream in this.
Okay,
In
but it's just
Discord?
going to be me acting out all of the parts. So
I'd
I
watch
hope you're
that.
okay with that.
Or I can find it and figure it out. Or Kat, you can. But your job is to. We'll probably watch it on YouTube with commercials.
Okay.
Seems like the
It might
safest
even-
choice.
It might even be available to watch on YouTube. So
Okay.
I mean, if it's not, I can. I already talked to someone else about using for Discord, so I can pull it up on one of my other media accounts and share
Okay.
my screen and do a watch party.
Okay. Okay. That works too. Yeah, no, Brock, your job is literally just to sort of lead the discussion in 2 weeks when we talk about the Sandlot. When we discuss.
is this going to be like Roger and Ebert style, where we watch the whole movie and then talk about it at the end, or do you want to like pause it along the way? What do you want to do?
We will not be watching it during the discussion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We will just be talking about it. We
Okay.
will have watched it during the watch party on Discord,
Well,
maybe on Twitch, but it won't go to YouTube. Although if we do it on Twitch, I can definitely take clips that I could cut into the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But that would mean that in 2 weeks' time, this won't be a pre-recorded live episode. This will be an edited episode.
Yeah.
And somehow I don't feel like doing that. So I think what we're going to do is do the watch party on Discord, discuss it on Twitch, and put the discussion on YouTube.
Okay.
But yeah, you may want to take notes while we're doing the watch party, just so that you have stuff you want to bring up, which is a suggestion for anybody who is in the watch party with us. You know,
For everyone, actually.
take
This
notes.
is going to be one of those. Don't talk, take notes.
Yeah.
This is Trevor's first time seeing the movie, so
Yeah.
Which means Trevor needs to not talk and take notes too.
well, I think Trevor can just watch it and then just sort of absorb it without having to do homework.
Do you you really think Trevor can just watch it and not talk? Do
No,
you
but I don't think you
really
have to
think you
I
can
don't think
keep?
you have to take notes.
That's fair, but like,
Well, do I have control over like your microphone? Can I mute it? Because then maybe I can get you to not talk throughout the whole movie.
Cat,
Yes.
does he have the ability to mute me?
Um.
I'm gonna have to be there, right? And
I
it'll be fitting
mean,
because I'll be standing next to you with a baseball bat to make sure that you don't talk during the sandline.
all right. He may not have the ability to mute you, but if I'm doing the screen sharing, I have the ability to pause it so that you can talk without interrupting the movie and talking over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is not necessarily muting you, but it is far less hazardous to your physical health than other options that are being currently presented.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Brock, what was the
Yes.
game we used to play when watching stuff with me?
Was it a game?
I kind of. I think you were keeping score of how often I said, oh, he's gay. Oh,
Well, it's
he's
because
gonna
you said it
die.
for everybody.
Right?
You said it for everybody. So yeah, of course you
Everybody.
were right. You were right sometimes, but that's because you said it about everybody.
Everybody
I
is
could have been the
gay.
same thing.
Everybody is gonna die.
At the very beginning
Yeah,
of the movie,
pretty
I
much.
could be like, that character's straight, they're gonna live. And then I could be right like a whole bunch of times. It's not fair.
So yeah, like I am not you. It takes everything I have to not be that guy in a movie theater.
Well, Trevor, I'm gonna tell you this about the Sandline. Nobody dies.
They're all gay.
There's only really proof that one of them is straight, so like the rest are up in the air.
But they're kids,
Yeah.
Trevor. Stop it. Who
Squinch
cares
is
if
the only
they're
one that
straight or
like
gay?
stands up. Yeah, I think you're gonna like this movie, and then we can watch the Eminem video afterwards.
Oh, goody. Okay, so
Okay.
all right, it looks like we might actually be able to stream the movie itself on Twitch if we go from my Amazon account.
Hey.
I'm pulling
Nice.
up the information and double checking while we're talking because this is
So,
something I saw coming long enough ago that I've already been researching. But it looks like because of the various connections between the companies.
okay. So that means I can watch stuff on Amazon that's on Amazon.
Yep.
Hey, we gonna watch some stuff on Twitch.
That
Yep.
means we can do a whole bunch of Fallout stuff.
We could.
All right. Okay, so
Everybody
this brings up a it's something an important announcement that I was going to make either at the beginning or the end of the show.
drink. Okay.
I believe it is time for the channels to go through a renaming.
Oh dear.
The Twitch and the YouTube channel.
Okay. So 2 votes for Oh dear.
Sorry.
I propose Nikwork Entertainment as the rebrand for the channels, so that it's consistent with that, instead of just being me.
So that it's providing a cohesive branding image across all of the platforms, since you are presenting everything as something, something, something presented by Nikwork Entertainment.
Yes, and the brand is no longer the Trevor Stewart 1308 brand, because it feels like this is getting larger than me. If we're looking at everybody here being, everybody in the room right now being an executive producer.
There are 2 animals in the room here. Does that count as well? Can I get 3 executive producer shares?
No.
Well, see, if you've got 3, then I've got 3, and he's got 3, so it comes back to just 1 anyway.
Right.
Damn it, let me run out and get another animal.
Homie, I got a whole farm of animals.
Yeah, but you can't bring those cows inside.
Says who?
I've seen his house. He can't do that.
Can't? Do not underestimate me, sir.
You can get 1 in through the kitchen, and that's it.
No. You could get 2
I
or
have
3 into the
crowbars.
room.
I have crowbars. I have grease. They'll get in. It'll fit.
You've got a bunch of drunk crows. Just bring them inside.
This proves his point, you know.
Crowbar. No, I think at this point, though, the 3 people in the general voice chat right now, we're looking at, if we're looking at executive producer credits at this point, it's the 3 of us in here. And I do think it is time to rebrand as Nikwork Entertainment and get away from branding as myself.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Isn't Nikwork also just yourself?
No,
You're the man in the corner behind the curtain.
It is bigger than me now. It is. I mean, there has been an investor for a long time in Nikwork Entertainment. But B, I've had you as a co-writer, Brock, for 20 years now?
Oh, well, 23 out of the 22 years we've known each other.
Yeah. Like, I could easily call you a co-writer on almost everything I've done.
Yes, but you can't prove it.
Right. But I can't prove it.
Smoke bomb, run away.
Poof, gone. You can be a silent executive producer. I don't mind that.
Like the Sam Simon of this group?
Who?
Okay, never mind.
And Kat, you're already an associate producer. It seems a little strange for you to be associate producing me as opposed to the channel. I feel like it is time for the rebrand.
Mm-hmm. I'm not arguing with you.
Well,
I
all
mean,
in
it sounds like a
favor?
fair idea.
All in
I don't
favor?
care. So I
I
abstain from voting.
I, and I'm with you fellers.
Well, you were agreeing, so.
All right. Yeah. Um, motion
I'll take
passed.
I'll take whatever side wins.
look, you abstained already. He's voting. He motioned. I supported. The motion passed. So you're already on the side that wins.
There you go. I mean, other than Nikwork Entertainment, are there other suggestions? Other than Channel McChannel Face?
Rockwork Entertainment.
Yeah?
No.
Oh.
That immediately sounds like a stripper service. People are going to be very disappointed when they click on the website. We're going to get so many half-second clicks.
Yeah, people are going to click on and they're going to see ads for Roccacino and go, yeah, this is the place. And then they're going to click further and be like, they're talking about Klingon coffee.
Which apparently is spicy.
Mm.
It's the wrong kind of spice for what they're looking for. Honestly, right now, I can't think of anything better. It covers everything that you do. It covers all the different headings. Just calling it Nikwork Entertainment or Nikwork Network Entertainment because it covers all of it.
Nikwork Network Entertainment?
Yeah.
Should we go with the NNE? I love it, actually. NNE.
Yeah.
NNE. Nikwork
No,
Network
don't say it like that.
Okay.
I mean, if you leave it as just
I'm
NN,
with
then I'm
the-
going to be sitting here humming the Batman theme.
No.
or the Flight of the Bumblebee.
Either way, both of us are distractible enough. We don't need that added to it.
Nikwork Network Entertainment. NNE. Well,
Yeah.
Nikwork Entertainment, or do you think the NEN? Nikwork Entertainment Network?
No.
No?
No.
The NNE?
Yeah, that
Hi,
flows better
I'm
off
Trevor
the tongue.
Stewart, 1308 with the NNE.
Yeah.
Does that sound menacing enough in its own way?
I mean, it can, depending on
Hi.
how you phrase it.
Stewart, Trevor Stewart, 1308 with the NNE. I have a few questions for you this evening.
I mean, yeah, that works. And entertainment covers the different things versus
I don't know. Entertained might be a little strong.
I'm entertained. That's enough.
I mean, you entertain me, Brock.
You're not
There.
supposed to tell people that.
Well, why do you think I keep coming over to your place? You're entertaining.
Oh.
Well, all right. Motion passed. Nikwork Network Entertainment. It's about okay. We've been going for about 2.5 hours. We've got a little bit more in us, eh?
A little bit.
Anything else
You said you
about?
had to stop it too, right?
I didn't say I had to. I said two was, you know, about when I was thinking of stopping. I was certainly trying to make sure you had time to make it to your party, which is why I went with the James Earl Jones stuff first.
Okay. Well, I have like 4+ hours until the party.
Oh, okay. So we can also talk about the other stuff on the agenda. I believe the next thing was we were going to talk about. I came across this as we speak about. That's what I want. As we speak about this star who was influential in our lives, I'd like to speak about another star who was influential in my life, Linda Carter, the first Wonder Woman, who has. It's really hard. Is there a way to get rid of that ad? Probably not. Linda Carter, the original Wonder Woman,
Oh,
tells
so there's a little X in the bottom corner.
There wasn't. Let me try this.
Right.
Linda Carter, the original Wonder Woman, tells Arizonans not to vote for her sister. Now, Linda Carter was, the original Wonder Woman, the TV Wonder Woman, and a character from even before I left the farm. I think I got to see some of the TV show, and my mom loved Linda Carter, loved Wonder Woman, and so very. She had a lot of. She was almost as beloved in our family, if not equally beloved, to oh darn, I can't remember her name now. Superman, Lois Lane from the old Superman movies. The actress.
That wasn't Talia Shire, was it?
No.
Um.
From the Christopher Reeves movies. Family Guy did a bit about her. It was an empty. It felt like an empty bit, but anyway.
Yes.
Obviously.
Oh. I'm looking it up and I'm going, because I should have remembered that one. Margot Kidder.
Margot Kidder. Thank you. That was going to eat me up until I got there. Yeah, Margot Kidder was equally beloved as Linda Carter in our household. My mom looked up to both of them.
Cool.
Hopefully, we have a 90% chance of getting my mom on the show next week for an interview. So that should be fun. As I alluded to earlier in the episode, or stated outright, I didn't really allude to anything. So yeah, Linda Carter. came out against her sister, Pamela Carter, who did not immediately respond to HuffPost's request for comment. Her platform includes being opposed to same-sex marriage, abortion in nearly all cases, and transgender inclusion in sports. Pamela Carter does support, however, arming teachers. Linda Carter, a vocal supporter of reproductive rights, also offered her support to the Democrats running against her sister in Amazonia's Legislative District 4. Arizona's. Amazonia. Thank you, dyslexia. And I swear, every time I looked at the headline, I had to read it 3 times to not see Amazonia. Linda Carter, original Wonder Woman, tells Amazons not to vote for her sister.
Both work.
Especially the Amazons that live in Tucson.
Ow! Oh, thank you. That was good. So, moving quickly along. Unless anybody else has comments on this.
No, I'm not following Tucson.
No.
You can't follow.
I have to follow Tucson because I was born there, but I'm not voting there, so I don't care.
Okay. So, next up is an article that was submitted by a member of the Hidden Leaf crew. Shout out to Asia from the Hidden Leaf, who has done actually a few pieces of research for us. So thank you, Asia. Thank you for the article. This is actually pretty interesting stuff. Physics breakthrough brings nuclear clock closer to reality. And when I first saw the headline, my thought was, great, what new way of killing people has physics come up with that the doomsday countdown has all of a sudden sped up? Like, does physics prove that the doomsday countdown now suffers from gravitational lensing because, the extreme polarity of the political parties is causing singularity level density in stupidity on one side, thus forcing time to move faster for them on the doomsday countdown? Oh, wait. That sounds awfully prescient. You know what? Let's skip over to what they really mean, which is they have built and are refining a new timekeeping piece. A new timekeeping method. Instead of an atomic clock, which uses a whole atom to keep time, they've refined it down to the nucleus of an atom to keep time, which as you focus your control further and further down, the levels of uncertainty reduce until you get to a certain point.
Mm.
So they're still on this wide focus. Okay, a good way of looking at it is when you take a magnifying glass outside to burn holes in leaves, and start small brush fires. When you're focusing the lens, you turn it and turn it and turn it and turn it just right and tilt it until the light all focuses to a point. But then if you turn it too far, it starts to unfocus again.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of how uncertainty works. As you focus your control further and further down to a certain point, you eliminate uncertainty. But after a point, there is, once you're below the Planck length, there's no certainty of anything, so you can't focus. You can't focus
Mm.
past that. It diffracts again. So, in any case, they have. There's a whole lot of stuff about how they do this, including using ultraviolet waves, and using it to jiggle the atomic nucleus, and the clock runs counts the jiggles. They're using, some of the breakthroughs in this is that they're using thorium-229, which they've found a way of embedding in solid crystal, so that that lattice around the thorium atom is a lot more rigid, so that its vibrations will be a lot more predictable. It's sort of part of the focusing, in that it's focusing the focus. That's not what I wanted you to do. So that it's focusing the probability of where the nucleus is.
Okay.
And then they are using UVU. I'm trying to remember what that stands for. They're using a better form of UV light. VUV. In the the discovery, thorium nucleus was uniquely low energy, and it could be pushed into the exact state by using vacuum ultraviolet, VUV, laser light. Vacuum ultraviolet lasers, and they've embedded the thorium-229 in a crystal. So they've made a better UV wave, and they've made a better atomic nucleus. So they've made a better clock. It's pretty neat. The physics is interesting. And they're using it to test some fundamental properties. Seeing as how we'll see if this timekeeping has the same sensitivity to time dilation, to relativity time dilation, as even the atomic clock does. I think once you get down to the quantum size, once you start getting past the nuclear,
Mm-hmm.
I think, because the nuclear is still going to behave mostly in a macro state, in a macro physics way. It's in a macro state. The
Mm-hmm.
parts of the atom that are really in a quantum state are the electrons, the shells around the nucleus, not the nucleus itself. So they claim it's going to help them measure dark matter, map gravitational fields, the quantum, with some quantum. Um, uh,
I'm sorry. I'm hearing that, and my very first thought, unfortunately, is cool. Do you want some horsey sauce with that?
nice.
Sorry.
Nice. I appreciate that. I do. Uh, I have been one of the physics slash sort of general YouTube channels that I watch, because
Mm-hmm.
she's branching out into books.
Right.
But she did a lot of physics communicating before that. A Collier Astro, or Angela Collier.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's one of her things is, just always be wary when they start talking about the quantum. The
Right.
quantum, especially when it comes to quantum computing.
Yes.
It just, sometimes it feels like they're throwing quantum in front of everything.
Because it makes
And
it sound more special.
right, and she does that quantum. you
Mm-hmm.
know so that's where I picked that up. And I feel like, you know I feel like they're okay, here it is, the revolutionizing physics. It just, I mean, sure, it could do a lot for physics. We want to see if dark matter could interact with the atomic nucleus in a way that it's different from the orbit of the atom, just the whole atom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. Do you need I guess you do need a nuclear clock to do that. But it's it's developing a new tool, and every time you have a new tool, everything that new tool really tries to deal with everything. To every physicist holding a spectrometer, everything needs to be smashed up and set on fire.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. That holds true. To every hammer, every problem, or to a hammer, every problem looks like a nail.
Yep.
Okay, good. That was a hard jump to make to every physicist with a spectrometer. I wasn't sure where I was going when I started that sentence.
Understandable, but it is applicable. Just
Got there.
yep.
So, do you guys have opinions on the nuclear clock?
Just the old person opinion. What was wrong with the old way? Tell I know how to do it.
There will be less synchronizational loss.
Trying to learn another doohickey.
Right?
Yeah.
There's less synchronizational loss between a pendulum and the piezoelectric qualities of a quartz. There's less synchronizational loss between the piezoelectric quality of a quartz and the behavior of an atom.
Mm-hmm.
And there's less loss between the behavior of an atom and the behavior of a nucleus. It's not that there's anything for our needs. For our needs, a quartz crystal is good enough. For our needs, a well-kept spring and pendulum system is good enough. A quartz crystal is actually a little better than that.
Right.
But we're not keeping track down to the 10th of a second.
We're not supposed to be.
I'm certainly not doing any sports that a 10th of a second's gonna matter in.
No. And generally, when it goes to fiddly baking or other household tasks, it doesn't have that either.
Right. So, yeah, 10th of a second, I'm good with down to the seconds. So I only need a well-kept spring and pendulum, but quartz crystal lasts longer and works better, more reliably. So, quartz it is.
Mm-hmm.
But the further down you want to measure, the better you gotta get. Anything
True.
smaller than this, though, and I think they're gonna start mapping quantum tunneling.
Yeah.
Which is, hey, awesome. Map away. But, if you're developing it to keep time and instead you're making something that maps quantum tunneling,
Yes.
It's not a watch. It's a tunnel. It's a quantum tunnel map. But does it keep time? No. Then it's a broken watch. Adaptation of a Rick and Morty skit there. What was he trying to buy? A diffractolator or something?
I'm not
I know.
sure.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Anybody who gets it gets it. It's yeah. But this is really neat, to me, that they're getting down to a nuclear level of timekeeping is really cool for me.
Okay.
So does that answer your old person question?
I mean, not really, but we can go with it.
Cat, input?
Output.
Understood.
Alright.
So then, what we're gonna discuss next, because I feel like we really do gotta, we really, 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 really do gotta talk about Dograque.
Yeah.
The debate. I decided to start calling it Dograque when my mother sent me a couple of memes that just geez, Ma. Geez, really?
Yes.
But yeah, yes. Yes. Just I meant to put them in the chat so that you guys could see. So I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay.
I meant to edit. I also meant to edit one of them into a meme for y'all,
Mm,
which I could probably do really quickly, and you would have no idea,
potentially.
right?
Especially not if you don't say nothing.
Right? Ooh, missed those.
Do what?
I missed those.
Oh, the turning the hexagon into a square.
Yeah, those look great.
Yeah, they do.
It's just, well, it's ending up being more of a rectangle, but still.
Yeah.
The hard part is getting getting a constant size between them. Consistency. There's the word I want.
Dogs leaving Springfield after watching the debate.
Shh.
All right, let's see if I can do this really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
I am gonna have to go pretty soon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, I could have done that better.
Relays.
Oh well, I will make a better one later, but for now, this is... Didn't do it. Why did it not do it?
Mm.
Still not doing it. Oh, yeah, it did.
Yeah, I
No,
got it up
there's
twice.
two there now.
Yeah.
2 tours in Springfield changes a dog. I was gonna put "this is why we call it Dograque" down here.
Yeah.
To really cover to talk about the debate, though, really, what I feel like is that these pictures show how ridiculous. Hey, Chris. Good to
Hey.
see ya. Thanks for the raid. You're here on the very end of our show. We're on the last thing. We're talking about Dograque. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. For me, it really shows just how ridiculous it was. What he says was. For those of you who just popped in, my mom sent me this this meme the other day. Dogs leaving Springfield after watching the debate. And then sent me this picture with a caption that said, 2 tours in Springfield changes a dog. And I was trying to make it a good meme before, quick, before I posted it, but I wanted to put in there, this is why we call it Dograque.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it really represents just the ridiculousness of what he was saying. Just sort of the insanity that he's trying to just spew. And, he's trying really hard to really sort of repaint reality in his favor. And and try and just make things out of thin air. I mean, yeah, there was a person who ate a cat in Ohio,
Yeah.
but that person wasn't from Springfield. They were from Canton.
Doesn't help.
They were an American, and they have a history of mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, the utter ridiculousness he was spewing, and the fact that Kamala was baiting him and he was falling for it and rambling, not entirely unlike Biden had been, but just angrier and not slurring his speech. It's just amazing to me that he got anywhere. And he's walking away claiming to have won. He's walking away saying that, she's asking for a rematch. Only losers ask for a rematch. It's like, oh, homie. Oh, homie. Oh, goodness grape nuts.
Yeah.
I feel like she did have her... She opened rough, and they definitely opened with a question that she was not eager to answer.
Yeah.
And so she didn't. But, she hit her stride after he whiffed that question. And she just sort of gained momentum on him, it seemed like, and just kept swinging and baiting. And it was not a good look for him. Some of the criticisms of her that I've heard are that she was not clear about her policies, which, as far as I can tell, is only 25% correct, in that she didn't walk you through what her policies are going to be law by law. But
she didn't have a invisible playbook that she's pretending she doesn't have, and has everything already spelled out.
Right. She has a publicly findable playbook, policy agenda. Because that's really what it is. It's not a playbook, it's a policy agenda for her. His is a playbook.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I feel like the larger the playbook, the smaller the hands.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is how everybody should measure an inch.
Mm-hmm.
That's about an inch, right?
And now I have the Inchworm song going through my head. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Glad that's where your mind goes. So, the thing is, she has publicly available, I believe, her platform. What she's running on is on her website. You can find it and check it out, I'm pretty sure. And it's a pretty, I wouldn't say detailed, but I think I haven't looked at it.
It's something that she is actively acknowledging as hers and not secretly not.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I really, personally, don't really feel the need to see too much of it. I mean, I suppose I should get a look in there to see what sort of law and order BS she's going to slip in on us, what to be prepared for.
Yeah.
But I'm going to vote for her because I would rather have her law and order BS than his everything. Anything than anything from him. I don't, yeah. It will go worse for me in his system than it will in hers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she plans on turning back the clock on any of the drug regulations, on any of the marijuana stuff.
Mm-mm.
So, but there's so much else about me that he just would love to make illegal.
Yes.
Even if he
In all
has
honesty.
no problem with the fact that I smoke weed, there's so much else about me that he's not cool with. To the point that it doesn't matter if I like Kamala Harris or not. If I didn't like her, I would just hold my nose and vote for her. However, I do kind of like her. I think that she has done some good things in her time as a prosecutor. I'm still, a cab and all,
Mm-hmm.
but when the cops are arresting the right people, and by right people I mean Trump,
Yes.
it doesn't feel as bad.
Yes.
I mean, it is not lost. I keep saying this, but it's not lost on me that I am going to be voting for a law and order party this time. It is a little uncomfortable. Are we going to see police reform? Do we have any chance of seeing police reform or abolition at this point?
Good question.
Are we gonna see? How are we gonna deal with what's going on in Gaza? With the unlawful occupation of Palestine. I mean, at this point, it's globally been accepted that this has become an unlawful occupation of the West Bank.
Mm-hmm.
That this war on Gaza is an unlawful genocide. We're looking at two global war crimes going on by Israel. Are we going to continue to turn a blind eye because Kamala doesn't want to ruffle feathers? Probably.
Good questions.
But am I going to vote? Am I going to not vote for Kamala because of that? No. No. Because Trump is too much of a problem. He literally trumps all other problems. He is the bad idea trump card.
Mm-hmm.
The little joke and the big joke.
Thank you. I feel like I'm on a roll with him today. Fried chicken roll.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to make my exit here, though.
All right.
All right. I feel like we're pretty well done anyway. Thank you for joining us, Darth Dragonis.
Yeah.
The Brock Star of my compass instead of North Star.
Mm-hmm.
See, you don't have to explain it, man.
Well, I felt like I did because Brock Star could be either one.
Mm-hmm.
You are my Polaris Brox.
All right.
I don't know. Thank you, Kat, for being here.
No worries.
Much appreciated, guys. Thank you, Chris, for raiding in with the party of 4. You know, and one last time before we go, huge announcement. We are going through channels rebranding, and we will now be Nikwork Network Entertainment. NNE. Any NNE of y'all want to stick around for the raid, you should. Thank you for showing up. And now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. We're out, y'all.